Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today we're going to be talking about Bleach Rebirth of Souls. So we're going to be jumping into the JP website for this one. I got a little bit of a facelift. I don't know why JP always seems to get a facelift a little sooner than the EN stuff, but I wanted to talk about this one. I want to talk about characters, features, game modes, as well as some spec stuff, what you can expect for your games, and like what kind of PC do you need to run it, man? What kind of console are you looking at? So let's talk about characters real quick. I just want to skim over this real quick because there's a couple of things that I wanted to kind of look at. So obviously these are all the characters that have been announced thus far, which is not, different than anything else we've seen before. But we've seen this coming soon thing, which is very interesting. This has always been here up until the new character arrives, then it obviously gets filled in. But I looked at the actual categories, so they kind of branch people into different categories, and each one of the categories has a coming soon. So I would be kind of inclined to think that we are at least getting one from each category, which makes sense. So about 3 more characters, 4 more characters, just based on this. Obviously there could be more of those. But I was just kind of thinking and speculating like each one of these have a coming soon. So I don't know if it's just kind of a placeholder, like what ifs or whatever, because you can see a spot, you can see all like the captains, lieutenants and stuff. And then this one's kind of broken up on the Karakura Town thing, I'm guessing. Senji's here. He's like the only one, unfortunately, that's part of the visored. So hopefully they get a couple more of these guys, dude. I mean, where the hell are they all at? But yeah, it was kind of interesting to see the coming soon stuff for each one of the categories. So I was like, oh, damn. Okay, so this could actually mean at least 3 more characters, which I would want at least like 4 more characters, right? Because I wanted to go all the way to the row. I don't know, it's kind of weird, but I just thought it was pretty interesting to see like just the different things. I would imagine like, so they have a couple of characters that have technically been like confirmed, but they don't seem to be on the roster. So White is one of the characters that were in the story anyway, but I don't know if he's going to be a different Ultra costume to Ichigo. It doesn't necessarily say like, he's like a different, costume to Ichigo or whatever. And then also we just got Cayenne. So I think he's kind of an interesting character as well, but he's not in here either. He was in the special trailer that we just watched the other day. So if you haven't checked that out, make sure to do so. And I don't know where the hell he's at. So I don't know if he's actually been confirmed or maybe he's just part of the story. Let's go ahead and jump into some of the feature stuff. We'll jump into the specs here in a minute. This is battle. So this is basically just the concept of the game. It actually has gone a little bit more in detail than it originally was. A lot of this stuff was just kind of a little bit of concepts. You can see it breaks it down into like 3 different concepts, but you can actually go into like system and it will start, kind of breaking down the nitty gritties essentially. So we've had a little bit of this stuff like, attack, breaker, guard, all that different stuff, but it actually seems a little bit more detailed. And if you guys want me to actually read through all of this in a video, let me know. We can go through all the different mechanics. Maybe it'd be a kind of a good video to post right before the game launches. So we can kind of go through it and get a good idea of like, everything that's going to be happening in the game. So we can get a little head start on it. But this is pretty intensive, dude. I don't remember it being this intensive because obviously it's going over like everything, basically. Everything you can think of in the game is going to be in here. I think it was only like 3 or 4 of these like little slides here, but it has quite a bit of more stuff, which a lot of this stuff has been talked about obviously in just like the official content, but I just wanted to kind of check it out. If you guys want to see me kind of go through it and talk about it, we could do it as well. This is basic operations. It will show exactly what the gauges and all that stuff do, break it down, which is pretty interesting. I like to see that because there's a lot of gauges, a lot of shit to remember, right? Story is pretty interesting. I like the main story here, the secret story, and then this, I imagine, is side story. We've seen a little bit of this being teased. So the main story is obviously going to follow Bleach and its continuity, but we got the, well, look at the screenshot, dude. Grimmjow and Ichigo, that looks so good, dude. I think the game is actually starting to look better. I don't know if they're like kind of tweaking the models a little bit, but let me know, dude. I feel like I'm maybe seeing shit, or maybe I get more excited about the game. But they got secret stories, so this is going to be from the perspective of each character, and it's going to be a story that unfolds behind the main story. So this is going to be kind of unique to the game, it looks like. So this is an original story that was not told in the main story. Okay, so this is actually pretty interesting. So you kind of have different things that the game is going to do itself and give like branching paths and different perspectives that maybe we didn't see in Bleach. I think this is super cool. It looks like the story is actually going to be pretty intensive, and we're going to have a lot of stuff to actually look forward to. So I'm pretty excited for that. Then we have this like side story. I think this is what it was mentioned to eventually, but it's kind of a slice of life stuff. So basically having combinations of people that maybe we wouldn't see normally, like Orihime and Renji. Like, I don't think I remember very many times that they ever talked in the original anime, if at all, dude. So this would be kind of an interesting thing. So then we got Mayuri down here doing whatever the hell he's doing, I'm sure. Kind of crazy stuff. The Chopstick Reset story is included in chapter 3 of the main story. So it's kind of a different translation because it translated from JP to English. So some of this stuff is not going to be a 1-for-1 exactly what it means. But yeah, this is like a slice of life type of stuff. A little bit more laid back story. Then we got the secret story, main story. I think this is really cool though. I think it's pretty interesting to see like the retelling of Bleach, but then also have some stuff that you can kind of look forward to being new in the actual game itself. So we have offline as well. Offline school, they have training on here. You'll be able to kind of jump in with different characters. You also see here, it's kind of hard to see because it's like kind of cut off over here. You can actually see your inputs, which is really cool. They have all kinds of different stuff over here to give you kind of an edge. I hope you can kind of set what the CPU is doing so you can get a good idea of like maybe you're not doing too good at guards, or maybe you kind of want to see where openings are and stuff like that. Obviously, traditional fighting games are pretty good at doing stuff like that, so it'd be interesting to see if that's how it kind of goes into it. But you could go through movements of each character. Training mode allows you to recreate and practice. Oh, okay. So it literally just told me recreate and practice specific situations. So you can kind of get an idea of what's going on, get a feel for a character. I like having training versus mode that allows you to fight against other players and CPU offline. So this looks like it's going to be more of, I don't know, because there's a tab for online. So offline, I imagine this is like, you want to play with your buddy or you want to play with the CPU and just kind of see what's going on. They have missions here. So missions on which you can challenge yourself, fight a series of battles with the CPU at a level or difficulty level according to your play level. It looks like they have up to 3. I imagine maybe they get added to it or something like that, but it looks more like a trials thing. We could jump in there with a certain character and kind of go play through this and get a good idea of some level of challenge. I hope it's really challenging though, because a lot of these games do this kind of stuff and it's like super easy. Well, I want to be punished, dude. When it comes to like level 3, I want it to feel pretty hard. This is kind of interesting though, because you could jump in here with like a character maybe you're not too familiar with, and you wouldn't have to be punished online, which I personally just like being punished. I guess it makes me learn a little bit faster, but each to their own, you know. Obviously, this is online. The interesting thing that I noticed about this though is it does not say ranked. It just says online. So I don't know if they're going to have a ranked. I don't really know how I feel about that. Let me know in the comments. How do you guys feel about that? If they didn't have a ranked, would you be cool with it? It's just casual. If we're just jumping in there and playing some matches and shit, I don't think I could really care either way. As long as it's fun, I could jump in there and do it either way. I think ranked is kind of one of those things where it gives you a goal. It gives you something to kind of reach for, and that's kind of fun. But it also gives the incentive to be a little bit more cheesy sometimes because you're like, there's stuff at stake. You have a rank at stake. So you're probably just going to be the most cheese, but you know, people want to win regardless. So I think that's going to happen regardless if you have ranked or not, but we'll have to kind of see how it works. So tutorial, this is going to go over your different stuff for basic operations and different things you could think about. They have all kinds of different breakdowns and stuff. This is pretty interesting. And then they have challenge modes where you can learn various operations individually. I would like to see this as different characters. It would be kind of cool to see what the game thinks that you should do for certain combos. It'd be kind of interesting to see for different character breakdowns, just to get an idea. And then you can kind of build off of that yourself. I like doing the trial stuff for a lot of characters in fighting games where you kind of go through, they'll teach you kind of like the most basic, most advanced stuff for the characters. And then you kind of go on and you start adding to it or eliminating certain things that maybe you don't like to do. So I think it'd be kind of interesting if that's the way it was going to go. It doesn't really say that, but again, the translation could be a little bit off. So it does say operation individually, which individually would mean to me like different characters, but the translation might be a little different there. We'll have to kind of see when the official EN stuff gets converted over on their website. Here is the store. So the store is pretty interesting. You spend the soul points obtained by playing the game to purchase items that strengthen your characters and customize items. Okay, so you can get like different customizations. Maybe it looks like skins in here. I'm not really sure what's going on here on the right side. And then it looks like you get strength orbs and like shit. This is pretty interesting. This is like some Dokkan stuff. You put some, you know, orbs into your guy and you can strengthen your character. But I would kind of see where is that going to go. By increasing the level of play in story mode and mission mode, the number of items can be purchased will increase. Where do you use these? Are you able to use these on versus or are you able to use these on trials? It'd be kind of interesting because then you'd have like different comps and different like people running different stuff on versus. So I don't know how I feel about that either, but I guess if there's no ranked, it doesn't have to be super fair, right? You just kind of going in there and beating each other's ass. So I don't really know, man. We'd have to see a little bit more about exactly what these soul points are and what they're going into with these items and stuff like that. So it's very interesting to see like, you know, what's going to be happening with that. I think this is cool. I think this is kind of a nice little preview. We got the product. This is going to show us pretty much oh girl, show us all the different versions and shit. I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen this stuff, so I won't go too much over it. You got listed benefits and stuff. We got special here. I haven't really looked at this tab, but this looks like a shirt, an autograph shirt giveaway campaign. So this is pretty cool if you guys want to check that out. I'll leave a link down in the description so you guys can check the site. Let's talk about specs. I know a lot of you guys are very interested in this because, you know, it does have local multiplayer. It says right here and online. But this is something very interesting for me. So like, I think it's pretty, oh my God, dude. 2080 Ti, dude, I got a 2080. Whoa, damn, I got like an old CPU or a GPU now. Damn, dude. Wants an SSD of 75 or more. So here's like kind of the computer specs. It looks like if you're doing a recommended environment, a 60 FPS balance mode. Oh, okay. So I got a decent AMD, so I could go there. Got 32 gigs of RAM, but damn, dude, am I gonna have to upgrade my GPU just to play? So then they got the PlayStation 5, 4, XS, and Steam. So it looks like you got some different stuff with resolution. Wow, so it's not gonna be in 4K for these other ones. It looks like maximum resolution here for Steam is actually pretty high, but obviously it says that recommended, subject to temporary fluctuations and stuff. So it's also saying that about frame rate for these guys. So PlayStation 4 is only gonna be 30 FPS, which kind of makes sense. Obviously, they're kind of getting to a point where PlayStation 4 is being kind of edged out. Online battle supports up to 2 players, of course. This is pretty much the same, I think, across the board. This has nothing to do with your stuff. This is online main story stuff. Yeah, this is why I hopped off the console stuff. You just have to have like the subscription stuff to play online. That shit pisses me off. I'm not gonna lie, that shit pisses me off. Like, I bought the game, dude. But yeah, it looks like you just need the actual the game on the console looks like it's gonna be a lot lower than it is on Steam. Steam's gonna be a 75 there. So not the worst thing. Obviously, if you're having some of the older generation stuff, you will be able to play the game, obviously, but it looks like 30 FPS is going to be the highest for PlayStation 4. So if you're looking at like a PlayStation 4, you're going to be kind of in a spot where you might be a little bit of a disadvantage. PlayStation 5 and the new Xboxes look like they're going to be okay. X and S, which is kind of interesting. So you'll be all right if you're on an Xbox or a PlayStation 5 there, but PlayStation 4, you're looking a little slimmy. Steam, it looks like it would be kind of, damn, dude, this seems like a little bit intensive when it comes to like some of the different stuff. I'm surprised on the GPU, but maybe my shit's just old. I don't know. So not bad though. I obviously want to be able to jump into the game and we'll tweak some shit and see what's going on. But I think this is cool, man. I think this is pretty interesting to see like just how much stuff is being broke down in the new website. But again, if you guys want to see me break down any more stuff, you want me to go over some stuff, let me know in the comments. Of course, we'll be following the game as it updates and continues to do stuff. And when the game launches, you're doing a ton of different stuff with Bleach Rebirth of Souls. So make sure to subscribe to the channel for more. And I will see you in the next one. Have a good rest of your night, guys. Peace.